So, is Chapter 5 doomed from the start because of Fortnite OG, even though technically there is nothing new about Fortnite OG, but for some players it's a real breath of fresh air. There is no secret that Fortnite Chapter 4 in some places have missed the mark. The best way I describe Chapter 4 is that it's almost so close to being perfect almost every update that it's just not. Every time we have an update, people are so hyped, excited, but every time Fortnite just lacks something that misses the mark or brings it down. Over the course of Chapter 4, we've had some really cool additions to the game. The kinetic ore weapons, overhauled vehicles, some crazy collabs, and some crazy mechanics. I really enjoyed the Most Wanted update of Chapter 4, where you would try and get your heat level up to increase your speed and regenerate your health out of combat. But Fortnite did add these really cool stuff by not standing still, by moving forward and reimagining their game. But with the return of Fortnite OG, which is a special 1 month thing, some people are calling for it to stay. People like the simplicity and they like the simple loot pool, and the argument is the map doesn't feel cluttered. If anyone watched this video of mine, I talk about why the later chapter maps have only lasted a year. Because they're very well designed, there's a lot to them even in the first incarnation of the maps. There isn't a lot of room to move, which in my opinion means the map's expiration date will come a lot quicker than those maps of Chapter 1 and Chapter 2. And in this video, I say this, which I think sums it up really well. Unfortunately, this is probably why the Chapter 5 map will fail. It will be a well-polished, furnished map, and we'll be back here in years' time, about to be introduced to the Chapter 6 map, with many probably struggling to form really deep connections to the map. I just think more people care about the Chapter 1 and even Chapter 2 maps than the Chapter 3 and 4 maps. And the reason why, because of visual storytelling. The visual storytelling for the Fortnite storyline, even though some people may diss this Fortnite storyline, it was so much better in Chapter 1 and Chapter 2. Like with Loot Lake and Kevin, the Unvaulting event, the Convergence, the Mothership, the Spire. I know this is Chapter 2, but I'm saying Chapter 2 and Chapter 1 visual storytelling was so much better than Chapter 3's and 4's. Even though Chapter 3 did have a couple events and visual storytelling in the war between the Imaginal and the Seven, and the lead up to Collision, and of course the Fracture event, which was terrible, so do you recount that? Okay, well, it's been fun. It's been fun, guys. Like, the Chapter 1 map also has so much intrigue with, like, the bunkers and, of course, Loot Lake, Tilted Towers being destroyed. You have memories with this map. It's not so much nostalgia, it's that you actually have a connection with this map, which for whatever reason, Fortnite hasn't given us in Chapter 4. Fortnite Chapter 4 has given us a little amount of visual storytelling with the Rift Gate and Hidden Henge. I think that's what the place was called. Even this trailer where we found the bridge, Jonesy talking to Sloan, he's like, oh my god, this is all cool. This is what builds a connection with the islands. And unfortunately, the Chapter 4 map Asteria has been so let down by this. 1 like equals 1 prayer for the Chapter 4 map. And subscribe to the channel too, because only 5% of you this month are subscribed to the channel. Because if you don't subscribe, it will fill me with rage. And Clark Clint will steal your limbs. Bro, I literally got him down to 1 HP! But we are currently comparing the chapter that had a full 2 years, this extra season, against a chapter that doesn't even exist yet. And according to Shina BR, text was sent out to creators a while ago saying that Fortnite will change this year. After the OG season, things will get even more exciting for Big Bang right after Fortnite OG. There has been a massive amount of conversation in the Fortnite community about Chapter 5, so let's list a lot of them off. Fortnite X Lego. Fortnite will have a racing mode with, I believe, like a battle pass connected to it as well. Of course, we're getting the new Chapter 5 map with a whole lot of new mechanics. One of them would hopefully include this first person mode, which I believe leaked this chapter. If you did something and save the world, you could get it in Battle Royale. This was very unfinished and a bit broken, so obviously they're working on it right now. And hopefully it will be ready for Chapter 5. And another one was wall running, but of course, with hurdling being kind of broken this entire chapter, I'm sure Epic are trying their hardest to get it right, and hopefully it will be ready to release in Chapter 5. So I'm optimistic when we move away from the Fortnite Season OG map, the Chapter 1 map Athena, to the new Chapter 5 map, which I believe will be called Helios. I am confident we can at least expect 100% effort from Epic for this chapter to be a success. The leaks we have currently seen should be good news. I do understand the fear that players who are enjoying Fortnite Season OG or the OG Fortnite Season are currently having. Personally myself, I do think the map looks better to look at in Chapter 1. And I don't mean the natural beauty of it, because Chapter 4 is amazing. Like, it is a really beautiful map if you turn the graphics all the way up and your computer's screaming at you to stop. Now the point I'm making is obviously from my point of view and it's my opinion, but I didn't really realise this until I shifted back to the Chapter 1 map. I may have mentioned this a few times on stream before. The Chapter 4 map was very loud. A lot of colours, a lot of things going on, and I feel like it actually affected my gameplay sometimes. Of trying to like process information, all the colours, all the graphics, as well as you're in a fight. Feel like I've had that issue ease since moving to Chapter 1 map, where the colours don't seem to be doing that for me. Like, the full focus of my brain is on the fight when it needs to be, and it is just gameplay. There's no NPCs, there's not really overpowered POIs. Since last season, of course, the Eclipse POIs were more powerful. Which of course means if you want to compete in the game in Chapter 4, you have to land at these POIs. This is not the case in Fortnite Season OG. You can land absolutely anywhere and probably win a game, or at least have a very good chance of winning the game. I have noted this down a few times. If you make a POI more powerful and more people want to go there, it will imbalance the map. Fights will play out a lot differently if you go somewhere else. And maybe there is a point to saying that, well, that can really sort of bring something new to the table and make it more interesting. Which I will agree is probably the case. But there's also something else you've got to remember about the Chapter 4 meta. You had the Eclipse POIs, then you had the towers, then you had the islands. And that's how every game needed to go if you want to at least have a better chance of winning the game. You would go to one of the Eclipse Estate, then the towers, and then of course the loot island. But let me stress, this is actually nothing to do with the map. This is everything to do with the gameplay, which you can just incorporate in the Chapter 1 map. But they haven't, which means you don't have to stress about the next phase of the game. It's just you, your weapons you have, and of course 99 other people. Like Fortnite Chapter 4 Season 2 also had this scenario where we had the loot house and the overclocked rifle. That was highly contested and you really needed to get it, because if someone else had it and they were shooting at you, that was a problem. Of course, this actually goes down to how Epic set up the gameplay on the Chapter 4 map, so was that a problem for most people and not the actual map? Although going back to a point I made earlier in the video, I do believe the Chapter 4 map was horribly stacked in some places. I do believe there's too many variables in this to pinpoint one exact problem. But let's go back to the question asked at the start of the video. So, is Chapter 5 doomed from the start because of Fortnite OG? Yes, Chapter 5 is doomed from the start because of Fortnite OG, but not because of the map. It will be because of gameplay. I think less is more, and that approach, at least maybe for the first season of Chapter 5 Season 1, will really do Chapter 5 really good, and it will give it a solid foundation to work on. I think along with the LEGO collab and the new mechanics we could get and first person shooter, I don't think Fortnite needs to lead us to how we play the game. They don't need a let's land here and then go to this tower and then go to floating island. They do not need that, at least for the first season. I believe less will be more. A simple loot pool and a simple way of playing Battle Royale. The last person remaining wins the game. But thank you to all these members, you are fantastic. And of course to you, the subscribers as well, you are awesome. But if you want to keep up with me when I'm not making videos, the Discord will be the best place to do that. All my socials will be down in the description below. Until next time, it's been your boy Mr. JLY. Leave a like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Till next time, bye bye.